Call meeting to order. Elizabeth, please call roll.
Here.
All right, move to item 2, additional review. We've got the copy of proposal. Come on up. When you speak to the mic, first of all, it's not on, so Rosie, you can turn on. Do me a favor, speak real close. We're in the peak of this building, so it sounds like we have a large echo. But people in the back are not hearing this, you really get into it. So with this, fair, state your name for the record.
Hi, I'm Phil Faso, and this is Mary Luther Del Rio with Proven Business Systems. We're actually here to represent what we discussed a few weeks ago with you. I believe you've received some new information with the breakdown and what it consists of. Just to make this quick and go through it, you guys have three copiers right now. You have a large one that was introduced to the industry 9 years ago. You bought it about 4 years ago, so you bought it used, as you know. And then you have a black and white and a color. There's smaller units that are in lease and records, I believe. Okay, so the lease on those three machines, and I have it all broken down for you, is $480 a month. We also received a lot of information from you regarding the volumes, what you're currently utilizing as far as copies, how much a copy, so we know a lot of that information so we can do a good cost comparison. You're currently, based on all the volumes and the cost per copy, you're spending $182 a month on service. If you add the two together, and if everybody's on the same page, I think you are, you're paying $663 a month for one machine that was introduced 6 years ago, another one that was introduced 7 years ago, and the big one was introduced 8 years ago. So, we're talking some older technology. What we're proposing to you are 3 brand new color devices. A new Toshiba color that, and we showed you the banners last week, and I don't think Mr. Mayor got to see these, are things that are capable with the new machines. In comparison to the Canon, the large Canon this is replacing, the quality is amazing in color. You could do a lot of the merchandise that you currently might now outsource and save money that way. It not only does color, but it scans lightning quick, the fastest in the industry. It has data security override, so anything that's copied, scanned, printed is erased as it's done. The old copier has a hard drive in it, so whenever we return the old copier, we need to erase the hard drive for any information that might be on there. The new ones, you don't have to worry about that. The 3 machines we're proposing, the big color, and then 2 other colors, one for police and one for records. They're both within a year of being introduced to the industry. The Toshiba was introduced about 2 to 3 months ago. The Canons are smaller Canon desktops, similar to what you currently have, and those were introduced within the last year. The new equipment lease is $316 a month for all 3 machines, 3 brand new color, compared to $480. The service on the new ones, they run more cost effective. It's $173 compared to $182. And that's not a big deal, but it adds up over time. The total cost would be $490 for those 2 machines. There's $170 in savings right there. Now, you still owe on the old copiers. To buy out the old copiers, we would fund that, put that in the lease, write you a check, and you would stream the payments. So you would still write a check to the lease company for those machines as if you still had them. We would take them, wrap them up, store them in our warehouse. When the lease is up, we ship them back free of cost to wherever the lease company tells us to send them. Copier leases are different than car leases or a car. Lease companies are not friendly like a bank. You can't call them up and say, I want to buy this out. And they say, okay, write the check for $7,000 and I'm happy with it. The lease company wants you to go into default. They want you to make a mistake, pay the interest, and keep paying on it. It's a trick. And every lease company in the industry for copiers does this. So that's why we'll write you a check and all you do is keep making a payment on the machine you don't have. We gave you the money to do it. So it's really a wash. When you add all of that up with the buyout, the total cost of this new equipment is $628.35. I'm glad I printed that big because I can't read it real well. But if you see the difference from the existing of 663 and the cost of the new one, you're actually saving $34.76 a month. Based on brand new equipment, same volumes, all color, brand new technology. So, I mean, I don't know if we could do a whole lot better than that, but that's quite a savings by itself for what you're going to get. Questions?
I have a few questions. You may answer when I wasn't here. Our current machines have where we have put a password in before anything different. Same?
Absolutely. We can set that up on all of them.
Okay.
You can set it up so you can block people out on color, and only certain people have a code that will allow them to use the color capability. You could track it. You could do it internally through the machine, through the internet, or you can go up to the machine and get printouts also.
So we'll be able to track by their code how many.
Absolutely. We could limit them. You could say, I want to give this person 200 black and white and 100 color. You could set up anything you want.
And then we can also do it by department.
Absolutely. You could have just department codes.
Any other questions?
Would you guys clean the machine once you take it away from here? Take all the information out of the old machine?
Absolutely. We actually sold Lexmark some years ago, so we know how to do those. And the cannons work currently at one of the largest cannon dealers in the country. So that will not be a problem. We can erase the hard drive and send it back as a new machine.
Did you guys change that to disk or something and keep it if there had to be a reason for it here?
There's no reason to have it. It's really, you have to have certain equipment in order to actually read what it's, I mean, it puts it in, it's encrypted in all different,
Does this include the rewrite scan to Word?
No, I gave you some other options. I mean, if you wanted to add more features to the machines. So, what we discussed was you don't really use the stapler, the machine doesn't have a fax. So we gave you basically that. The one thing I did throw in is additional drawers on the bottom to hold more paper, because your volume wants it, and I didn't want to be that big. It's a great feature, and it's what, $9.90 a month? What it is, it's called Rewrite. It's actually a Toshiba product. It allows you to scan a document. When you send it to either your when you send it to your email, or to a file that we can do, scan to a file right on your desktop or a common file. It converts the document, instead of receiving it as a PDF, it converts it to either Word, Excel, or PowerPoint. So it's an editable document when you receive it. It's very cool. We have it on a lot of products. Well, you didn't, but it's a matter of adding that to the lease until we, if you were to say you wanted to add a fax, all we'd have to do is add that monthly fee to the lease itself when you go to sign it. So, this isn't in stone. This is showing you what you wanted and giving you a cost comparison. So, now you want, it's like a car, you want to put a power sunroof on it, and you want leather seats, we can add to it. And really, if you were to put that $9 or $10 in it, you're still saving money compared to where you're at.
I think the fax machine, I know we talked about the fax machine before, we have a fax machine in the front office.
Right.
So I don't know that that's necessarily something that you should, in my opinion, that we should have. But I know I asked about the $9.99 rewrite before. I thought it was a good idea. We're already saving $35 a month. I think maybe that's something that's important. Personally, I think we should add it. We're still saving $25 to get brand new machines, color, and all of them. I think it's a great.
I use that picture a lot with how I use it, I call my IT person, and I tell him to put it up. So this really worked for me in my office. I don't know how many other people use it, but this would be great for me, for the person.
Actually, there's more formats than just those three, too. I mean, it does a lot.
All right.
Yes, how many computers do we turn on off that? I mean, if we have a computer in the machine, can it be linked to other computers, or they have to be linked to the network, or?
You could do it either way. I mean, you could download the driver on the network and push it out to everybody, from the server to everybody. I mean, I sell to a lot of schools. We have 300 or 400 teachers that print from their laptops to multiple copiers.
And my last question. I'm looking at well, I just want to know, the 4505, are we getting 3 of them?
No, you're getting one 4505, which is a 45-page in color, which is pretty comparable to you have a 50-page black and white now. And then the 2 Canons are the desktop units that would replace the Lexmarks you currently have.
Okay, so they're not in here.
There should be a brochure for a Canon 250 IF, it's called. And that'll scan, copy, and fax, and print. Right.
Okay, so we're going to get 2 350 IF?
250 IF.
250 IF, okay.
The 350 is the exact same machine. The difference is the speed is a little faster. You know, could you use it? Yeah, I mean, do you need it? Probably not.
Any other questions? Trustee.
This includes on all the machines, right?
Yes. The price I came up with, 173, was actually taking your volumes. You have a more detailed sheet. I actually took the exact volumes that you had on top, and we just kind of mirrored it on the bottom. Truthfully, you don't even use the volume that they included in the lease. So what happens with that is, if you don't do the volume that they included $240,000 a year in the lease at a certain amount, when you do not utilize them, you don't get money back. So we don't do it that way. We do pay whatever you use, kind of like gas in a car. You know, whatever you run, we charge you for. So we try to be more fair.
There's ID of selection on it that whoever is charged enters each person in the room get a person table see the ID, and that ID you go down the top of the card and for individual departments.
We could have it set up so the minute somebody touches the color button, it'll pop up with a code, or you can have it where it's a code all the time. If you want to track even black and white, you could do that. A lot of places don't track black and white, and then only when you go to print color do they track it. And again, you could lock people out. If they don't have a code, they can't use it, even from their computer.
Trustee.
But last week you said that the machine does duplex.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
It does duplex, but now it doesn't staple.
No, it's not Steve. They say they don't need it. We don't use it.
That has that feature, if you said in the beginning, you want to use it because of the cost of savings. You have a machine and whatnot, so it's never used.
I'm going to recommend that age of state paper card, it's not right. All right, anything else? All right. 8. There you go. Perfect. Just to make their plan.
I hope you're all Cub fans and you're not mad at us now.
Hey, right now, we're all Chicago fans.
There you go. That's what we should
And this is done.
You didn't have that.
So it's just copy and paste. One of our guys came to this over the website
Yeah.
and just captured the pictures.
And-
My face right here, and you can see that it's awesome. Okay, so when you're doing this though, you have to run it one side, flip it over, and do run the side.
be. And that's something we'll show everybody what you do. But this is waterproof, tear-proof, and UV-proof paper. So if you make signs for outside, I mean, we could take your cup of coffee and pour it on here and let it set until tomorrow, wipe it off, and it looks exactly the same.
How much would just that banner by itself to buy that one piece of paper?
This piece of paper is $6 a sheet, and it's 6 color clicks. So it's going to cost you about 30 cents to print, 35 cents to print each side.
All right.
Okay.
Have this on the agenda for approval next week. Seems like everyone seems like they like the idea, so.
Very good. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You can take that with you. You can take that with you. White sock, gold.
Hey, there's always next year. Thank you. Y'all take care. All right, move to item number 3, review the area government agreement to establish a joint 911 authority. And as I said, I want to make sure you speak right into the mic so the residents can hear you. And once you get settled, if you would state your name for the record. Okay, thank you. All right. All right. Hold that thing closer to a statement of the record.
Good evening, everyone.
Very closer.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Claudia Castro with the law firm of Olson and Sturt. Thank you for having me here again.
Good evening. Mark Davis, Executive President of Cabinet.
So I'm here back again, because as you see on your agenda, we have, and actually 3 or 4 go together. It's the intergovernmental agreement that creates the joint ETSB, the Emergency Telephone System Board. And this IGA contains, includes all 3 municipalities that are currently consolidating under CalCom's dispatch. And that would be Calumet Park, Sauk Village, and Midlothian. The reason this wasn't brought here before, because before what we have were IGAs for dispatch services, which is different than creating the joint ETSB. And we had one between Calumet Park and Sauk Village, and Calumet Park and Midlothian, and Sauk Village and Midlothian. So we needed just one that would have all 3 signatures from all 3 mayors. And again, this is to establish a joint ETSB. It is required, a required document under the consolidation plan application that we are going to be submitting to the Illinois State Police and the statewide 911 advisory board for approval for this consolidation. I also prepared an ordinance, and that's just the ordinance that would be to approve the IGA, so it's not establishing or stating anything more than just approving the IGA. So I'm here to answer any questions with regards to the IGA and establishing a joint ETSB. I know we talked about this the last time I was here regarding to having a joint ETSB, and again, I have the statutes with me and documents with how that is a mandate, and one of the required documents by us not providing this signed IGA to the, including in the plan application, all 3 municipalities will become non-compliant with the state and subject to enforcement proceedings by the Illinois Attorney General.
So this, really, you have before you 3 and 4. 4 is the agreement to establish the ordinance which enforces it. So, I'd open up for any questions. Trustee Burgess.
The way I understood it, that the mayor does appoint the board for each one of their own municipalities, correct?
Yeah, so there are guidelines with regards to who is going to be on the board, and at that point, we're not at that point yet. We did put together a committee where right now we just have 3 individuals in that committee, 1 from each municipality, that are going to start reviewing the bylaws. I will be providing them a draft bylaws, as well as the requirements under the statute as to who is supposed to be on that board, on the joint ETSB board. So, but at this point, we are not yet. But to answer your question, it would be the mayor's discretion as to who he wants to appoint, but obviously according to the statutory guidelines with regards to that.
And the statutory guidelines are pushing more for your police chief, your fire chief, and your homeland security, and then with the mayor from each community, if I remember right.
That's correct.
We talked a little bit about it, so the statutory guidelines are pushing it for your department heads.
Yeah, those are the required ones. I mean, I am going to look into the bylaws to see if there's an opportunity maybe of getting a non-voting member, or just a citizen from each municipality that also the mayor can appoint. But yes, as what you stated, that is what's currently required by state law.
Okay, so what I'm asking, is there a limit of term limit In other words, if the mayor appoints someone, how long do they stay on that particular board? Is there guidelines, anything in place right now to the scope as far as how long they would serve? In other words, if you appoint someone now, and it could be the police, fire chief, or as the chief, are they on that board for the next 2 years, or are they on that board going to be on that board for the next year, or the term of the mayor, or is there anything in place for that type of language in the ordinance?
Let me just verify, but at this point, because the bylaws have not been established, that's something that would be dictated by the bylaws as far as the term. It's hard for me to answer that again because I haven't even drafted the bylaws, and that would be something that the board, not me, that the board would decide as a whole as to the term and the members and how people can withdraw or be taken out of the board or stuff like that. So from what I see right now, there is.
So the authority shall consist of public safety members. So that's where you get into your chiefs from your 3 major departments.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
It consists of your public safety members, which would be your
Yeah.
chiefs from all the 3 we talked about, police, fire, homeland security.
That's correct. And again, those are the required members.
Correct.
So what I'm asking, if you're asking us, you're asking to establish this board, correct?
Well, this is just to create the board.
Right, to
We're not
establish the
creating-
board.
We're now establishing the members, yeah.
Right. Okay, so then once you establish the board, you have to establish the members after that so they can have,
Well,
some
yes,
type of
right.
representation.
Yes, eventually, yes, but it's not something that's going to take place until the plan application is approved by Illinois State Police. Right now, we had to seek an extension to the first extension we were given. Our deadline, original deadline was for October 31st, as you know, which was yesterday. But because we still needed this IGA and the backup agreement, excuse me, and the net vacancy network diagram, which are also required documents, we requested an extension for 2 months. I believe that we can have everything by the end of this month. So let's just say that we do turn everything in by the end of December. We were given until December 31st to submit our plan application. After that, it will be up to 90 days before we can get final approval after there's a hearing in front of the State Advisory Board. So we're talking about maybe the end of March of when this board will finally become functioning. So we will be working out, obviously, before that to start establishing so that once we get the approval, we're ready to go. But yes, it is something we're going to start working on, but not something that can begin functioning as a board until we get that approval.
Now, are you representing all 3 boards, correct? All 3 municipalities?
Our firm only represents Sauk Village and Calvin Park, not Midlothian.
So it'd be a joint input between you and the representative of Midlothian, correct? As far as putting these bylaws or ordinances together?
Well, at this point, because CalCom is the primary dispatch center, and they're the ones that are going to be carrying on the duties and the functions of the dispatch services, we represent CalCom. So we've been basically, the firm itself, have been pretty much doing all of this. There hasn't, Ms. Logan's attorney has not been involved, only as far as whether they see any changes to the ordinances or IGH, which they really haven't. They pretty much just have been taken what we've given them and presented it to their individual board, but I have not been working with the Midlothian attorney.
Okay, my last question. I'm sure you have other 911 boards, I'm sorry, not you, but there are other 911 boards throughout the state that do this. Are you going to basically look at what they're doing?
Oh, yes.
And that's what I was trying to find out. Do they have limits? Is there a limitation, or is it usually the term of the particular board member to be a term limit for when the board is in other words, when the new administration is in, which would be, or is it a certain term limit? As far as if a person gets appointed to this board, where they serve that even though they may not be that particular person, if you change someone out, does that person still stay there, or does the new person that comes in, that occupies that particular position, become that board member?
Well, to answer the first part of your question, at this point, I will be, obviously, a lot of these, like the IJs and ordinances have been taken from other ones that are both pretty much using the universal type of language. And I will be doing the same with the bylaws. However, in my research, because no entity right now is at that point of beginning their joint ETSB, that I haven't come across any bylaws like that. So, but I'm sure they will be coming around because many are starting to get approved. So, I will be looking into that, and again, that's all that will be determined within the board as to determine how long some reappointment.
And I'm gonna say most of the time, I don't trust the arguments. I'm gonna say most of the time when you run across things like this, it's by the end of the term, so like we were talking about where the mayor sits in this. When the mayor, like in my case, when I'm retiring, whoever's the next mayor will step in that place. If the next mayor decides to choose new chiefs, those new chiefs would fill these positions because they would be the current ones. That's what I've always seen. Correct. So, trustee Rich.
The act on, page 18, section 15-14C, it says that the appointed members of each emergency 911 system board shall serve staggered 3-year term. So when the appointment takes, they have staggered their term. And then the mayor has, or no, the mayor said that board members may be reappointed upon expiration of their term by the corporate authority of the county or the municipality. So when their time turns, that has to be staggered.
And that's still, you're looking at something that, I know what you're looking at.
The officer.
Yeah, there's still some questions about that. So, because it's so new.
I mean, it is new, and they also have, and as you know, the laws always have, they're ambiguous, and they can be missing a lot of information that maybe weren't thought of at the time that they were drafted, but they also, Illinois State Police has also drafted administrative rules, although those are silent as to with regards to the board, but I am expecting changes from next year, but at this point we have to, yes, go by the current policies.
Let's do it.
What if you guys look at what current single 911 boards are, and their bylaws, and kind of where they go, and then kind of over there, because I understand it as basically taking 3 individual 911 boards and putting them together, and there's standards and ways that those boards have to be set up. So I would assume, and I'm not, but everyone's saying police or anything, but I would assume that they're going to use the same thing, the same bylaws. There would be, if there's going to be chiefs for the chiefs from all 3 towns, there's going to be the mayor from the mayor from all 3 towns, and then going forward from there. And that's how I would assume.
Yes, and great question. And one of my specialties is in putting together bylaws. I've done it for many different types of organizations, and so I have, in my research, come across specific, just single ETSB bylaws, including CalComs and other ones within the area. So those will be, I would use them as my starting point to start drafting, but just because I want to hold off and wait to see what others are doing. Of course, when other ones come across, I'll see if there's anything that I need to change, but because I am familiar with drafting bylaws, that yes, that you're right, there's certain requirements and standards of bylaws that should be in, so that's where my only starting here. So I did kind of few of those.
Any other questions? All right, sure if they have anything that you have one of, any questions, then reach out to them. These on the agenda for approval next week.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much.
Have a good evening. Thank you.
All right, move to item number 5, review of the 2016 CDBG capital improvement. This is before you the resolution and for the project of the $200,000. And for those streets, they consist of Quiet Avenue, Peachtree Avenue, 216 Court, 224th Street, 224th Place, 226th Place. And again, this is just a resolution like that passed every year to be able to receive these funds. Is there any questions on this one? Yeah, I think, I can't remember. But this is the same thing we do every time we apply for a CDGB.
We can get you on that.
Yeah, last year we didn't get it. We applied for 400,000 and we didn't get it. Year before we did, what, 200,000? So back up to 200,000, which is good.
I have a question.
Yes.
Okay. What little page?
It should be a page at the top. It should say E3, E5, or...
Exhibit E.
Yeah.
I guess that, yeah. Exhibit E.
This one there? Yeah, okay.
That's the Exhibit E project summary.
Okay.
The award match, is that our input?
MFG. That's where that comes from.
Okay. Just want to make sure.
Yep.
So that is going to come out of MFT.
Yeah. It's the same thing every year.
I just didn't, you didn't say it just said award match, and I thought it was MFT, but it doesn't say that, but I see now, okay.
Any other questions? All right. We don't have this on the agenda for next Tuesday for approval. Move to public comment. All questions and comments will be directed to the mayor. Each speaker will be given 3 minutes to comment on topics of their choice. Each speaker will be allowed 1 opportunity to speak. Do it. Any comments, please state your name for the record.
Roger Grant. How you doing, sir?
Good.
Roger Grant. Quick question. Just wanted to know, I saw a document in the back, the Sauk Village home ranges. I want to know, what's the purpose of the document? And then also, where did you get the actual ranges from? Was it from Zillow, Realtor.com, or where was the information you get? It says,
That was distributed from us.
was not from us.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't put that out there.
Wait, but that.
You need to speak to Mr. Hope, he's waving in the side tags there, so.
All right. Next.
So I just wanted to inform you that next Wednesday, our girls' basketball team is doing well. They fought hard, they lost by 1 point tonight against Rosa Parks, but next Wednesday, the 9th, I would like to invite you all to come out and support them in their last home game. They still have 2 more away games. Their last home game, that's going to be their homecoming and parent night. And they're going to be giving out roses. It's going to be a special occasion. It would really be nice if you all would come out, you know, as village to support the girls. They're going to be playing against Dalton Junior High. And then you should be getting in the mailbox. I'm not sure if the clerk has it already. I want to make sure I at least tell you. We're having our community fest on the 22nd of November from 5 to 7 at Rickover. And we're going to do the box dinners, the KFC box dinners like we did before, for meals free of charge for everyone. And if you all can come there, and if you want to get a table set up, I know I saw some of your flyers, Trustee Rosa, that some things you all are trying to do. If you want to get a table or something, then just contact Jeremiah Johnson to get you all a table set up. I wanted to invite you to 2 major events that we're having this year. Thank you. Okay, if not, I am going to post it on my page, but you can pull it from there.
Real quick, the basketball game, what time?
3:30.
3:30. Okay.
Yes,
If I am in town, I will definitely be there.
that would be very nice.
3:30 at Record.
Yes.
All right, thank you very much. All right, next.
Mary Clark, just had a quick question. What is the balance in the water fund at this point?
Right, I don't have the answer from you, so, I think we gave it out last week. I'm not even gonna, yeah, I'm not even gonna report it because. Plus the water fund fluctuates daily. As people pay their water bills, it's nothing for us to bring in $50,000, $60,000 a day. So, all right.
Hello. I wanted to say awesome trunk or treat, by the way. It's great. I said awesome trunk or treat. My kids had a great time. It was really cool. Mayor Hayes, I just would like to bring to your attention some things that have been happening. I'm assuming I talked to you about it, because I don't know who else to. There are people going around tearing down both mine and Washington House's literature, and we don't very much appreciate it. It's also illegal, and it's part of, things that are going on. So I'm bringing this up to you only because if we were to have done it, we would have been blasted everywhere and pieces of crap by now. So I asked if you can maybe talk to your people or something, because I don't think that that's very respectful or responsible of anyone. We pay for those things, we do those things. I know you're probably confused, but it was Derek Burgess here. He pulled down the things in the Washington Square.
Hang on, wait, please.
It is not.
Hang on.
Thank you very much. So, I would like it to stop, and it needs to stop. I don't tear down his things, she doesn't tear down his things, so it shouldn't be happening to us. I have 3 minutes,
Right, hang on.
clearly, you guys can discuss threat all the time. I have 3 minutes, shut up.
Okay,
Yeah, wow. They're not accusations, clearly they were true.
We asked you not to attack anyone on the board. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, but they get to attack everybody every day? No.
And just ask that you not attack anyone on the board, just go ahead, if you have anything, go ahead and continue. Okay.
That I don't think that it's right that that can happen. Because like I said, if anybody did it to them, it would be a holy war. And it's not okay. We pay for these things. We do these things. It's not okay that we're out walking and doing stuff and people feel they have the need to do those things.
All right. Anything else?
No.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, I will make a statement, okay?
I'm a liar.
I will make
I'm a
a
liar.
statement. Hang on.
Thank you very much.
Chief? Hey. Okay, go ahead. I'll make a statement later. This is clean this on.
Last Tuesday, after we left out of here, we came back by the building about 12 o'clock, and this building was wide open. My suggestion is that I think that when you adjourn the meeting, have the police call somebody and they take these people out of it, because they stayed up here and left this building wide open. And anybody can come in here, and when people come in at 7 o'clock in the morning, there's no way for them to know who it is, because I know for a fact there's a guy hanging around out there in that park all the time. So my suggestion is to try to get these people out of the city and close. I know they like to stay around, because they have nothing else to do, but we like to get them out so they can go home. Okay?
All right. Thank you. Next.
You got no depth.
All right, there you go.
I'm sorry. Judy Cass here. I wanted to say that I was at the trunk or treat with Nan Warble from the library, and we gave out books that Nan donated and Gary Holcomb donated the candy to go out of the trunk there. I was extremely surprised with the trunk or treat this year because of the things that happened. Not only were there more vehicles giving out candies this year, but the fire department not only had the parade, but when they pulled in, they were giving things off the fire truck for the kids. The police department had their trunks open and were giving the kids stuff out of their trunks, and so was ESDA. We ran out of books, we ran out of candy. I didn't see anything that I could be negative about that happened during the trunk and treat. It was an awesome event, and I want to thank Trustee Jones for allowing me to be a part of it. I think his committee did an excellent job. It was one of the bigger ones that we've had in a long time, and I'm hoping that maybe next year it'll be even bigger. But it was awesome, and the kids did have a good time. As far as what the previous young lady said up here, I feel that was handled very poorly. I feel that if she had a problem with the trustee, she could have approached that trustee. I've seen her talk to him multiple times, and it could have happened this time too. So discreetness should have been used. Thank you.
And just so we're clear, that was your phone going off, it wasn't someone else in the audience?
No, it was mine.
Okay, I know, just want to make sure we're clear, because I've heard some comments why I wasn't telling people to turn their phones off. All right? Anyone else? Hearing none, move to miscellaneous business comments from the board of trustees. Yes, that mic. Right here.
Just wanted to remind everybody that the casino trip for the 60th anniversary is November 11th. Money is due this Friday to the front office. You can contact myself or the village clerk. It's $35 for the casino trip. Pick up here in noon. I will be back by 6:30. That's what the flyer says. Also, I wanted to talk about trunk or treat and spaghetti dinner. I attended both this weekend. I don't have the actual numbers, but I'm pretty sure that was the biggest trunk or treat that I've ever done, because the amount of kids, maybe because they were coming from both directions, so it just looked like a lot of kids, and a lot of kids. So, my son had a good time, and from what I understand about the spaghetti dinner, that they sold out spaghetti. So it was a big Saturday in the village, so that was great. Also, the holiday food basket. We'll have flyers on the back table. There's boxes in the hallway. And for anybody who's concerned, because I know that some people have asked, those boxes do get emptied out at the end of each night. If someone was concerned about them sitting in the hallway, somebody going through the boxes, you don't need to be concerned about that. The boxes are emptied out at the end of each night. We are looking for toys for the toy drive, and as well as food for the Christmas holiday basket. The list of items that we're looking for is on the flyer, and that flyer is on the box. So if anybody would like to donate just a can of corn, or a lot of people are doing enough for one whole basket, whatever's on the list for one whole basket. Any type of donation will be greatly appreciated. Also, I was actually going to talk about the Village Lockup 2. I want to say about 3 or 4 years ago, we had a system that lasted maybe 4 months, where each elected official took a turn. They took a month. And it was that elected official's responsibility to lock up the village hall. At the end of each board meeting, we established a 5-minute rule. 5 minutes after the board meeting, that individual was responsible for turning off the lights in here, turning off the lights in the hallway, and locking up the doors so that nobody could get back in, and asking people to kind of usher out to make sure that the building is locked. I know that I tried to do it on my way out, but that depends on the time when my child at that time. So, and I don't want to always be the one responsible for it. So I don't know if that's something we want to initiate again. You know, if that's the consensus on the board, I'll take November. But it should be kind of a rotating basis, so one person is always responsible for doing that. So I'd like to hear the board's input on that. And then, in case anybody was wondering, at the bottom of the second reel comes up.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. First of all, November 9th, here, next Wednesday, I will have the Public Works meeting. We'll be here at 7 o'clock. Next Friday, November 11th at 11 o'clock, we will have the Veterans celebration. All veterans are invited, and there's going to be a reception afterwards at Popeyes for the veterans. Just want to make a few comments. First one, Mayor and the board. I just wanted to say basically what Trustee Williams said, I used to be in charge of Parks and Recs, by the way, and this was the largest that I've seen since I've been a trustee as far as trunk or treat. I was commenting with someone, we were looking at the kids going past Village Hall, and they were already still at Village Hall and coming into the parking lot. So you had over 100 kids to come through, and the people that were passing our candy held out. So it was, a lot of people brought a lot of candy because it was coming from both ways. So that's something that has kudos to the to the Parks and Recs chairman. It was huge. The weather had something to do with it, but it was well attended. Spaghetti dinner, I did go. I don't know if anyone's here from the representation, but I just wanted to know that I win because I did buy several tickets to the different raffles, but I haven't heard anything, so obviously I did not. I get it. And there's one thing that I've learned to really look over and not even think about. I'm probably one of the few people that have been in area elections since 2006, or 2005 really. And every year is always something, but I do know for my sake, I've never taken, moved, or had someone pull someone else's sign down. This is a democratic government. Everyone has the right to speak. Why would anybody do anything like that? I mean, over the years, we never had those type of complaints. Yes, signs came up this, but to go inside a business and do something like that, I don't know. But it is election season. I'm not going to dignify that answer or that question with an answer. It's just that it's a shame. We have to do better. It tells you a lot when things like that come up and you accuse a person. I mean, I don't know. And as far as locking up Village Hall, Mayor, and Ms. Trustee Williams, I used to do it, and you know I used to do it every week. I would throw people out, I would say, last call, let's go. But you're right, we did have a system where trustees took a month and did it, but then it fell to the wayside a few years ago and it never. But I'm just hoping, because I'm not for sure, but I'm hoping every trustee here knows how to lock the door as they should know how to come in. If you have meetings here, you know how to get in. It's not through the back door. You know how to keep the doors open. So I think we should go to some type of way where you designate someone, because it's like a fire drill sometimes when you leave the meeting, that people are getting out of here so quick so they don't have to lock it up. Or the same ones are here and then they have to lock it up all the time. I was under the impression, last one out is the one that locks it up. So maybe we need to go and designate whose time it is to do that. And that's all I have.
Well, thanks to everyone that came out to trunk or treat, and I thank the committee, the volunteers, Dunkin' Donuts, Popeye's Chicken, everyone that showed up, and I appreciate the kids were nice and orderly. There wasn't any disrespectful kids that had to be pulled to the side. Some kids came up the basketball court. They came and got candy. All in all, I graded a grade A. The weather was perfect. I don't have anything bad to say about what happened Saturday. The trunk or treat was a great success to me. On November 20th, 2016 at 4 p.m., food, fun, music, and raffle. This is a free community harvest dinner. Please come out and join Robert No Excuse Foundation and the Parks and Recreation Committee for this free event. This will be, if you haven't met Robert, he's a sixth grader at Rico, and this is his foundation. Him and his mom, they go out on Sundays. They cut hair for the homeless. They feed the homeless. This young man is an inspiration, and we all should support him. And I hope we all get a chance to meet him on that day, and just say thanks, because he could be doing something different, and he should be inspiring to a lot of other kids. And this is a great opportunity to show what you can do from your heart. He's given a lot at a young age, and he's showing me And I appreciate him showing the respect and of life that he's given. And that's something some of us can learn from. And I hope to see you all on that day. And Parks and Recs committee meeting is this Thursday, 7 o'clock here in the Village Hall. That's it.
Trustee Worship.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just want to thank all of those residents that's been turning on their front and back porch lights. We have seen a great significance with the numbers going up, with people doing that to light up the neighborhood. So I want to thank all those residents that's been participating with that. Also, I want to just briefly mention a statement that was made earlier. You can't control what people do, what people say. Nevertheless, people are passionate, I would say, especially when they're making new endeavors. I remember, and we can't talk about politics really in the thunder, so that was new with politics in Sauk Village. I didn't know that I couldn't stand at the podium and say, I'm going to run for trustee one day. I didn't know I couldn't say that here. So sometimes when people don't know the guidelines and the parameters, they don't know that they're out of order until you let them know. That's what training the community is all about. But I do want to say that all of my literature was taken down from all over the village and thrown away, and there are residents and there are businesses that said it was done by village employees, and I'm not going to say categorically who those employees are. I did make the necessary steps to go and talk with the police chief. He already knows who it was. He already knows what the employees in the stores told me that they saw. I'm glad for the stores that did have cameras. I'm glad for the apartment buildings that do have cameras on their premises. And I'm going to prosecute it to the fullest extent of the law because it's illegal. I don't do it to anybody. I don't appreciate anybody doing it to me. Thank you.
Trustee.
No comment.
Thank you. All right, I do have quite a few things I want to run through as fast as I can. I know we have tough hands out there. First of all, what's happening on the back table is coming on either soon. Resource fair coming up. If you know what's looking for a job, it's Thursday, November 10th. So we've got that. We've got the call to all veterans. If you have any information, if you served in the military, can provide your service rank, if you have a photo, if you have a memory, we're putting together a slideshow. So we extended the date. The date was as of yesterday. We're going to extend it to give people more time. So this is something we're going to put on our website, and we're going to show at the pre-Thanksgiving dinner, which is going to be November 17th. You can see the flyer. There's information down there at the bottom also. Leaf pickup. E-alert went out for about leaf pickup. So if you've got an e-alert, you already know the leaf pickup will begin November 7th through the 11th. The week of the 14th and the 18th. Residents can still put leaves out to the 20th. The final pickup will begin November 21st. Crews will be out to pick up each section on garbage day. Remember, do not park on the streets on garbage day or you will be ticketed and possibly towed. Especially anytime, but especially during this leaf pickup. All right? It's important that they get as much of this picked up so our sewers don't get plugged in the wintertime. All right? I mentioned to it last week. You got the Metro Safety Poster Contest and essay. There's still the deadline for entries is Tuesday, January 31st. We'll continue to try to make sure that information out there. And tonight the check safety posters are already out and bring them up to the clerk. Let's see here. Let's pick up the poster. Last Saturday was a full day here in Sauk Village. If you got a chance, I got to watch the kids. I stood out in front of the village hall as the kids went by, and you're right, I think it's probably the best trunk or treat I've ever seen. So a great job to the committee, and kudos to thank your committee for all the work that they did, and thank everyone for coming out. My committee, senior committee, had just committee dinner, so I didn't have any time, but we had good turnout. I think if I remember right, I saw some of the stuff that we sold out. A lot of fun this year, so the Warner family singing and line dancing and seniors coming out and had lots of spaghetti. So, but I think everyone who was involved in that, the cooking, all the helpers, the volunteers that came out for that, for the senior committee, thank you very much. You make a chairperson's job a lot easier. So, locking into Village Hall, I know it brought to my attention. Usually, I'll be honest with you, usually I'm the last one here. Everyone's gone. I usually do a check. Last week, I got out of here pretty quick. This night, I go do some stuff with the family. So when I left, this place was still packed. But usually, I'm the one that goes off and walks through everything and make sure everything's locked. And last week, I did not. So last trustee that's here should be the one to walk in. If you're still here, if you're still meeting with residents, when you walk that last resident out, you should be the one to make sure that we're o'clock. Again, a lot of times I would say, tonight, if you're not here, all right? I'll just respond to election year. Election year, we know there's a lot of election zero and stuff coming out. The statement was about asking my people. The only my people that I know will be my family, my kids. So I will definitely tell my kids not to take anyone's literature. So, again, you know, if you've been in this as long as some of us, every year election material is taken down. Every year, there's signs. We had vandalized signs in I think 2005. And they set our signs on fire. They spray painted them, squashing us. So, again, it happens. You don't like to see it happen, but it does. And then lastly, then looking at the budget for 6-year review, for a 6-month review. Sorry about that. I'll be getting this out and hopefully find the numbers to make sure that we're going to do the department heads that can say, I'm going to run through this real quick because it's really coming out probably in the next few days after I look at verified numbers. 6 months into our budget for this year, 50% of our budget. The general fund expenditures has only spent 48.4% of our budget. That's 50% of our budget year. Let me give you some of these other things. Under the general fund, you've got other departments, administration. They're a little high, but we paid stuff off, so we're in good shape. We spent 67% of the budget, but we've got stuff that we don't have to pay off now, so it's very paid. Elected officials, the one sitting up here, we're 46% of our budget, so we're still under the 50% mark. Public grounds and buildings is at 45%. Police department is only at 40%. Great job, Chief. And we're not talking about some things we're going to look at. Community development is at 56%, 57%. Homeland security is at 47%. Streets so far is only at 7%. Parks and Recs is at 39, almost 38% of the budget. So great job at those in those areas. We'll get some time working on some charts and stuff like that for the residents. So we'll get this stuff put on my blog shortly, probably the next few days. Let's talk about the fire fund. Fire chief's doing a great job, 44.69%. So 45% of the budget, 50% of the year. Water fund is only at 35% of their budget, and sewer fund is only at 53, almost 54% of their budget. So the department heads are doing a great job. Some things that, you know, as I look at the budget, there's going to be things that we're going to focus on over the next 6 months. While the police department is only at 40% of their budget, you know, overtime's over. It's high, okay? The chief can come down with a ton of information to tell you why it's high. We've got 3 officers off right now. We've had some homicides in our village. There's been everything that's happening that the chief has been able to manage, which requires the overtime. But still, here we are, 50% through the year, he's only spent 40% of his budget. And on top of being able to keep up with everything. Public works, overtime is high. We already know about that because we said go out there and cut the trees down, replace fire hydrants, water main breaks, and they're still below the 50% mark. So that's one area we're going to look at next 6 months is overtime. We're also going to continue looking at vehicle expense. Right now, we've got our vehicles, some of them are starting to dynamics up. They're starting to get older. I'm telling you right now, the next administration, whoever it is going to have to start looking at considering purchasing new vehicles. Okay? So, you know, while you're out there campaigning, you might want to start looking at how you're going to purchase new vehicles, okay? Because the older vehicles are starting to dynamics up. We're going to start looking at our department heads and start pulling the older fleet out, looking at how we're going to put money into our newer cars so that they're up and running, and that we have, you know, we spend our money wisely. No sense on cars and trucks that are so old, there's no sense putting money into them. Okay? There's some other things that we're looking at. As we look at the budget, we're going to focus on those areas. And hopefully we're looking at next year, we want to be able to be below that 100% mark at the end of the year. Every single department, that's what we're going to be pushing for. So that these department heads are doing more with less and able to get work done. So, again, look for my blog. This will be coming out probably by the end of the week. I have to go off and just double check and tweak the numbers. And you'll see the charts. We've got some nice color charts on those also. So, with that said, I would ask for a motion to adjourn. That motion is for second. That motion is second. All in favor, say aye. Aye.